For the sake of understanding, I would recommend we style the elements as we add them on the page, rather than adding too many of them at the same time and then attempting to style all of them at once. So now we have the underline and the message components. Let's style them before moving on to the next. If you look at the finished project, the underline is barely visible in the finished project. But here the default is purely black, which seems to be a bit too strong a color for this page. So what I'm going to do is we are going to give it a somewhat bluish color to match with the background. Now the underline is represented with this HR component, so let us select it in our CSS. I have scrolled up to the default section in our styles because we are going to be using that in many places. So we'll just select the element itself and we'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid, this color that I prepared behind the scenes. We go back to our page and refresh, and it looks like what we have on the finished project. So that is it for the styles for the underline. We are going to proceed to style the message component. Now the message component is simply a div with a class of message. So the message class, we are going to define the styles to represent the shape of the element, and then the success or error or warning class will represent the colors. So let us define classes for the message component itself. So this is also going to be a it's going to be, I think, a component. We can consider it a component. So let us define styles for it in the component section. So before the styles for our header, I'm going to select message, and I'll give it a margin of 10 pixels at the top and then 0 pixels left and right, so it should span the entire width. We give it a padding of 10 pixels top and bottom and then 15 pixels left and right. Oops, this should be 10 pixels top and bottom, 15 pixels left and right. And then we'll give it a display of flex and then justify content flex start. Then we'll do align items center and then a border radius of let's say just 3 pixels. So make it slightly round around the corners. Let's give it a red border so that we can see it on the page. Let's go back to our page and refresh, and this is what it looks like. So the justify content display flex will align the items in a row format with the icon to the left and the text to the right. And then justify content flex start will make all the items in the message component to be aligned to the beginning. And then align item center will centralize them vertically. Now this icon is a bit too small, so let us add the size, and then we should also provide some space between the icon and the text. So we are going to select the icon. If you remember correctly, we gave it a class. Let me see. Give the icon a class of message icon. So that element is inside, the icon is inside the message component. So we'll select it and then we give it a font size of 1.75 rem. Then we give a margin at the right of, let's say, 10 pixels. Let's go back and refresh. Okay, and it looks better now. We're going to take out our red border, and we can now start defining styles for the success stage and so on. So for the success message, first of all, let us write a comment indicating that these are flash messages, or these are styles for flash messages. So for the success message, the success state is when we have a class of success on the message item itself. So we select it in our CSS by appending the .success to the message selector. Now the colors we are going to be providing will be for the border. The border will have a color of one pixel solid, this color. The background color will be, and then the color is going to be this. Let us refresh, and this is how the success message looks like. Now we are going to duplicate this a number of times to represent the warning states and the error states. So I copy and paste again. Now we have the warning and the error states. For the warning, let us add the colors. Okay, and we copy that because it's going to be the same as the color. The border color is going to be the same as the text color, and then the background color is going to be yellowish. Okay, so this is how warning is going to look. Let us refresh. Let us apply the class, refresh and see. And for the warning, we are going to change the class. We are going to change the icon, but we will just leave it at this for now. We will change it when we are actually implementing or making the website dynamic. Okay, so let me reset it back to success, and then the last one is the error. So the color of the border is going to be the same as the color of the text, and the background color is going to be this. So let us test the color for error. Okay, and it looks something like this. Alright, so that is all the styles we have for the message element.